Have you ever walked into a home for sale or even scrolled through listing photos online and thought, wow, that house feels kind of cheap? Here's the thing, the house itself might be solid, the layout might be great, and the location might be perfect. But buyers aren't robots who only look at square footage and price. They are emotional. They're constantly asking themselves, can I see myself living here? Does this feel worth the price? And does this home feel well cared for? In today's market, where mortgage rates are higher than they have been in years, buyers don't just buy any house. So when a house gives off a cheap impression, even if it's not actually in bad shape, buyers are mentally starting to subtract value. They assume repairs are needed. They assume it'll cost them money, and in most cases, they just keep scrolling to the next listing. If you're planning to sell in the next year, this video is for you. We're going to talk about the 5 biggest reasons your home looks cheap to buyers, things I bet you've never thought about before. Hi, I'm Katherine, and my 3 sisters and I are real estate agents who have helped over 1,000 clients buy and sell homes. Our passion is making the selling process simple, stress-free, and profitable for our clients. We're big believers that you don't have to spend a fortune to make your home feel like $1,000,000. You just need to know what matters most to buyers. And before we dive in, I want to make sure you grab our free 2025 Seller's Guide. It's all you need to have a game plan for getting your house on the market and sold in any market. All right, let's talk about the 5 problems that make your home look cheap and how to fix them. First, the front door gives off the wrong vibe. Buyers start forming their opinion of your home before they even step inside. In fact, studies show it takes less than 10 seconds for someone to decide how they feel about your house. That means your front entry sets the tone for everything else. If your door is faded, scratched, has dated brass hardware, or just looks blah, buyers subconsciously assume the rest of the house has been neglected too. They may not say it out loud, but here's what they're thinking. This home isn't going to impress me. And here's the kicker. Today's buyers don't want to gamble. They don't want to risk that cheap exterior is a sign of hidden maintenance problems. So how do you fix it? Repaint the door with a modern, bold color. Black, navy, or a rich red are timeless choices. Upgrade the hardware to something sleek and current. Even a $60 handle can transform the feel. Add a clean new doormat and a simple wreath or planter for polish. And sometimes it's worth splurging on a new, beautiful, and modern door. It can transform the curb appeal of a home. Secondly, outdated or harsh lighting. Lighting completely changes how a home feels. Unfortunately, outdated fixtures or harsh bulbs scream cheap the second buyers walk into a room. Think 90s brass chandeliers, fluorescent tubes in kitchens, or mix-match light bulbs casting weird shadows. The problem is buyers don't just see an ugly fixture. It gives the house a weird vibe from the moment they walk in. On the other hand, updated and consistent lighting makes a home feel warm and welcoming. Here's how to fix it. Replace dated fixtures with simple, modern options. You can find stylish flush mounts or pendants for under $100 at Home Depot, Amazon, or IKEA. Swap bulbs for warm LED lights to create inviting glow. And here's a pro tip. Make sure all your bulbs match in color and temperature. It matters. Add extra lamps or accent lighting to create a homey vibe. When buyers walk into a space that's bright, warm, and modern, it instantly feels more valuable. And the best part? This update is inexpensive but has a massive payoff. Thirdly, the walls feel like work. Another huge factor that makes a home feel cheap is the condition of the walls. Maybe you still have bold accent colors, scuffed baseboards, or rooms filled with family photos. To you, those walls feel personal. To buyers, they feel like work. And here's the reality. Today's buyers don't want projects. With their budget stretched thin by interest rates, they're not excited to spend weekends repainting or spackling holes. They want move-in ready. So here's how you fix it. Repaint rooms in fresh, neutral tones like soft white or grayish. These colors make spaces feel bigger and more modern. Patch nail holes, fix scuffs, and touch up trim. Simplify decor. Take down heavy gallery walls and keep artwork minimal. Neutral, fresh walls create a blank canvas that lets buyers imagine their life in your home. And that perspective of move-in ready translates directly into higher offers. Inconsistent or worn flooring. One of the biggest signals of a cheap home is flooring that doesn't match. Maybe you have carpet in one room, laminate in another, tile in the hallway, and wood in the living room. Even if each floor individually looks fine, the inconsistency makes the whole house feel pieced together and low quality. Buyers want cohesion. When flooring flows, a home feels intentional, more expensive, and bigger. When it doesn't, buyers assume corners were cut, or worse, the updating will be a headache. So here's how you fix it. If your budget allows, replace flooring in main areas with one consistent option. LVP, luxury vinyl plank, is durable, modern, and affordable. If you can't replace, make the most of what you have. Deep clean carpets, polished wood, and regrout tile if needed. Even simple improvements here make a massive difference in how buyers perceive your home's value. Lastly, clutter and poor staging. Even a beautiful home can look cheap if it's cluttered, overstuffed with furniture, or staged poorly. Empty rooms can feel small, crowded rooms feel stressful, and highly personal decor distracts buyers from actually seeing the house. Let me give you a real example. Earlier this year, we sold a home in a neighborhood where a lot of listings were just sitting on the market, but our listing is sold after just one showing to an out-of-state buyer. At closing, she told us that the photos and staging had drawn her in again and again until she finally decided that that was her house. The difference wasn't the house itself, it was staging and photography. That's the power of presentation. So here's how you fix it. Declutter. Less is always more. Pack up extra items early. Arrange furniture to highlight your home's best features like windows or fireplaces. Use neutral decor so buyers can picture themselves in the space. Staging turns cheap into chic. It shows buyers not just a house, but a lifestyle that they want to buy into. Individually, each of these are a small, affordable update, but together they completely transform how buyers perceive your home. And that perception is everything. It determines how many showings you get, how quickly you sell, and how much money you walk away with. Here's the good news. You don't have to figure out all this on your own. When we work with sellers, we walk through the house together and give you a room-by-room checklist of exactly what to do and what not to waste money on. Most of the time, it's simple things like paint, decluttering, and staging that bring the biggest returns. So, what's the hottest paint colors this year? Watch this to find out.